This is Killer Kyle to Wheels of Fury. Kyle, and welcome to Wheels of Fury. Tonight, we're going to talk about Payback.
Yeah.
And you all know what they say about Payback.
Just think, like, they have this pay-per-view so close to another, like, we literally just did a prediction video for SummerSlam
And NXT.
and NXT 30, and now here we are again doing a prediction video for Payback.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta give WWE credit for trying to do the best that they can with what they got, but still, you know, you would think they...
Well, it's like a rest period. You know?
Yeah.
You would think, yeah, exactly. You know, we don't just jump into another pay-per-view when we've already had two. And it's like, what's this based off of? Like, why are we doing it right now?
Yeah. I mean, could have easily waited, maybe not necessarily 3 weeks, but at least 2 before jumping into another pay-per-view, but...
I think what really bothers me is that there's no build-up. And the fact that we're just doing this on the fly, kind of, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean...
And SmackDown is tonight.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Now, if there happens to be matches on SmackDown, like that are being brought up for Sunday, we will probably do... I'll add to the video.
Yeah.
And we can probably do something tomorrow, maybe, but...
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that they're just coming off of SummerSlam, the build-up for Payback is going to be minimal.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much build-up you can do for a pay-per-view in so little time. Generally speaking, when you come off a pay-per-view, you know, you have some downtime coming off the pay-per-view, and then you slowly build up to the next one. And that's generally over about a 3-week period.
Yeah.
But because you got a turnaround so quickly, it's not saying that the show is going to be terrible.
No.
It's just, you probably won't get as excited for it as you would a pay-per-view with more time to build up to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get excited for it, but right now it just seems like it's too fast. You know, when you have promotions, and I think that All Out, well, definitely, well, that's going to be in September.
Yes.
Impact might have something soon, but it's the whole thing of, we just got on to having 2 pay-per-views last weekend, and now you're going to jump to this.
Yeah. You're literally coming off of TakeOver 30 and SummerSlam, and now you're jumping right into another pay-per-view, Payback.
It's really hard not to complain about it, because the fact is that there's really okay, yeah, I mean, he didn't throw a bunch of wrestlers together and say wrestle
Yeah.
or whatever, but it just doesn't, like, where's the feud?
I mean, I'm sure there will be stuff that are on this pay-per-view coming off of SummerSlam, you know, to get payback. You know, I think that's essentially what they call it. That pay-per-view, they call the pay-per-view that. Like, you know, there's a couple matches on this card that are for sure going to be continuations of a feud,
Yeah.
and maybe build up of a feud coming off of SummerSlam. So there is that, but
I don't know. I have no idea.
we'll have to see going more into it.
The first match is gonna be Randy Orton taking on somebody that just debuted on Raw, and Keith Lee.
Yes, the limitless one. And, you know, essentially what this is, basically, is Keith Lee standing up to Randy Orton for what Randy did to Drew this past Monday on Raw, and wanted to get payback for McIntyre for what happened, and yeah.
You know, it just, kind of understand that Randy is an excellent heel. For what happened with Drew. Drew winning at SummerSlam, retaining the WWE title, and then Randy Orton just beating the shit out of him in Gorilla and doing 2 punts. And of course, one sneak attack backstage when he was being interviewed with Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why the hell this is, like, obviously there's a reason behind it, but now you're gonna have Keith Lee defend Drew. Now, they had a match earlier that night, and yeah, people are bitching about Keith's attire, whatever,
Yeah.
and then Drew stops it, so
Yeah.
yeah, Keith is like, yeah, I'm gonna have a match with Randy on Sunday. I didn't have the match I wanted, so there you go.
Yeah.
I think that it's gonna be a good match. I don't see Keith coming out the winner, though.
Probably not, no.
If Drew comes out and maybe distracts Randy or does something to Randy, I'm gonna have to say Randy's gonna win, and I'm not a fan of Orton, but you can't just have somebody debut and win their first pay-per-view match.
No.
So,
Yeah. I mean, Keith Lee held his own very well against Randy on Monday before McIntyre got involved. So I'm sure it'll be a really good match, but I think in order to build up more to rematch with Randy and Drew, Randy more than likely will get the win.
yeah, I think so. There's gotta be no other explanation for it, but yeah, can Keith beat Randy Orton right now? No. Maybe at Survivor Series. I mean, he did really well at Survivor Series last year.
Yes.
He did really well at the Royal Rumble this year. So, I can see Keith Lee pull one off at the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Just like match we're going to talk about is just been announced. You've got Big E versus Sheamus. That should be good.
Yeah, with Big E right now on a singles run for a little bit until both Kofi and Xavier return from injury, I'm sure Xavier won't be too much longer out. I'm sure he'll be returning pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
A live show where he tore his Achilles tendon in his left leg, I think.
Wow.
Right leg, whichever one. So he had surgery on that, and they say that it takes up to a year or so to heal.
Yeah.
Now, the injury occurred February, I think.
Wow.
February to March, somewhere in there. Because I know it was like just before the whole pandemic that he got injured. And so, yeah, he's been out for like 8-9 months already. And then, of course, Kofi and Big E were defending the SmackDown tag titles, and then, of course, they lost the tag titles to Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Right.
At Extreme Rules in that tables match. Then, of course, Kofi suffered an injury in that match.
Yeah.
And so he ended up out.
Yeah.
So Big E's going solo right now.
Which I think is a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy was awesome in FCW.
Yes.
So, I mean, for him to do the singles run is great. I wish he would have changed his promo and persona. And, I mean, it's cool. You want to stick with the New Day thing, whatever. I don't know when Kofi's due to come back. I don't know when Xavier's coming back. It's just, time is going to tell.
Yeah, I'd say Xavier will probably be back November, December-ish.
Aha, yeah, that'd be cool. And Sheamus, obviously, one of the more aggressive wrestlers that I've seen in a long time. So this match is going to be interesting. I mean, I've seen Sheamus twice. I've seen Big E once. And to see Sheamus, what a powerhouse. So this is going to be another really good house fight.
Yeah. And watching SmackDown last night with you, it was almost as if Sheamus was, I don't know if you call it a identity crisis, but like more of a Bruce Wayne, Batman,
like
Clark Kent, Superman.
Like an Irish brawler type gimmick.
Like him as this like Irish street fighter, street brawler.
Exactly.
If you will. One moment, like when he's walking along and Big E's having a conversation with Morrison and Miz, and he comes in, and he's got the hat on, his white tank top, the suspenders, his hands taped up, and then, you know, heavy machinery comes into play, and they announce it's going to be a 6-man, and then, you know, you got Morrison and Miz later on in the night, and Morrison's tying whatever, he taped a baseball to his foot, checked radar machine, whatever, and he can kick like 70 miles an hour or whatever, and Sheamus comes in and is like, alright, what's the game plan for tonight? And is in his traditional ring gear.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so this is going to be a good match. For me, I'm not quite sure. I honestly can't tell you who's going to win.
Yeah, I can't really tell you who's going to win either. I mean, if you want to keep Big E on a, like, he's got a good wave of momentum right now.
Yeah.
I think he's on a high. So if you want to keep that going, you can give Big E the win tomorrow night.
Yeah. This is going to be one weird-ass prediction show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually we're not all over the place, but because of the fact that, like we were talking about earlier, we're going into Payback, and we're just having came off of SummerSlam.
Yeah. That's fucking
insane. The champion, Apollo Crews, is being challenged by the CEO of the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I got these two guys who definitely, it's hard to choose a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Apollo. Apollo just won the new US title, and he was already US champion at this point.
Yes.
So to have Bobby actually win on Sunday's a possibility, but I don't know, because you had this arm wrestling match,
Yeah.
and for some reason Apollo had cheated by stomping on Bobby's foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be interesting. The fact of the matter is that Bobby is due for another title shot.
Yes.
Whether it's the US, it should have been the WWE Championship by now.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where this is going to go.
Yeah.
So for my money, I honestly can't choose.
The Hurt Business, as far as I'm concerned, are a lackluster heel faction. Now, don't get me wrong, MVP as a heel, great. Bobby Lashley as a heel, meh. Shelton Benjamin as a heel, could be better.
Yeah.
That all being said, I'm glad they gave Bobby Lashley more to do after that horrendous storyline with him and Lana. And, you know, they had him with Leo Rush
Yes, that's right too. Yeah.
for a little bit, and that went fairly well. The whole thing where he's bending over and showing people his ass, well, that's stupid.
Juvenile.
But then, you know, they come off of that, and then, you know, do the whole stupid storyline with him and Lana.
Mm-hmm.
And that, well, kind of ended up going how he figured it would go. And he's now a member of the Hurt Business,
Yeah.
which seems to have light a fire back under his ass and be that motivated, dominant ass kicker that we know he can be, which is good. And, okay, he's got a shot at the United States Championship, which is fine. I mean, should Lashley be champion again, United States or otherwise? Yes. Could he get it on Sunday? Most likely. Will he? If MVP and Shelton Benjamin get involved, somehow, could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have to hand it to Bobby Lashley since coming back after having another long run on Impact with Dan Lambert and the American Top Team thing.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta hand it to him because if I were Bobby Lashley, I would have got right back the fuck over to Impact.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? You have a guy like Bobby Lashley, former WWECW champion, former. Actually, he was the U.S. champion at some point. And then he goes over to Impact. Goes back over to Impact, becomes the King of the Mountain champion. Becomes the Impact champion. I believe he was the Grand, whatever the hell that was, champion.
Yeah.
And then what? He goes back to WWE right after that, you know, and it's like, there you saw the Bellator career he had. Whatever. Fine. And then he goes back to WWE. And it's like, you give him a gimmick where he's, you know, gushing about his non-existent sisters. I'm pretty sure he's got siblings, but what the fuck is that about? And they got the bullshit with Lana, later live. The fuck is that about?
Yeah.
And, no title shot. He had one match. One match where he could have been a WWE champion. But nope, can't do that because reasons. So, I mean, if I were Bobby Lashley, I would have got the fuck out of there as soon as possible. I just don't get it. It really pisses me off. The guy deserves another championship run of some kind. So, Sunday, you know what? I will say Bobby Lashley. Because obviously you won't give him the WWE title, so it better this than nothing.
When Bobby Lashley returned to WWE, it seemed as if they were trying to make him a face. Which, it worked, but it really only worked to a certain degree. And then it was like, alright, this face thing isn't working. He seemed to work better as a heel. Let's make him a heel. So they make him a heel, put him in that god-awful storyline with Rusev and Lana and Liv, that bullshit show. And I'm glad that ended when it did. But now you've got him with the Hurt Business, and I mean, it's okay, but I mean, all they're doing is kicking the shit out of people, and MVP's trying to recruit people to make his group bigger. And I mean, okay, you basically revitalized Bobby Lashley's career and resurgence, putting him with MVP, cool. Throw Shelton Benjamin in there. We haven't seen Shelton Benjamin very much since he's returned, so okay, give him some TV time, that's great. But I mean, other than that, it's like, why? What's the use?
And Sean Benjamin, let's talk about him for a second. Because here's a guy that was in Kurt Angle's side. He became the U.S. champion, the Intercontinental champion, one of the best Intercontinental champions. They had a storyline with his fake mom. And then I'm not even sure. Well, actually, him and Charlie Haas went to Ring of Honor for a bit.
Yeah.
A few years later, comes back. And so, I mean, yeah, he's the 205 champion, as far as I'm concerned. Unless Akira Tozawa and one of his Foot Clan members became a champion. I don't know, I have no idea.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta take into consideration there's a possibility, because MVP has gotten into Cedric Alexander's head, that he might turn heel, but that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Because you've got the team of Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali. So why would you do that? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a little off topic, but still.
Yeah.
I think Bobby Lashley should get the title. As much as I like Apollo Crews, I think that Bobby Lashley could be the champion on Sunday. Well, where that goes, I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, can Bobby Lashley win the title on Sunday? Yes. Will he? We'll have to wait and see. Could Apollo have some creative way to win and retain the United States Champion? Sure he can. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, though. But, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Women's Tag Team Championships. We've got the Golden Role Models, aka the juvenile, pick one, versus the team of Nia Jax, talk about the Hurt Business,
Nah.
and Shayna Baszler. I mean, you look at a woman like Shayna Baszler, MMA fighter, former women's NXT champion. She goes over to Raw. She has a great feud, kind of, with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Now you have her going on Raw Talk and talking about tartar sauce!
Okay.
Oh, you don't watch Raw Talk?
No.
Okay. Spoiler, it sucks. The fact is, Shayna Baszler deserves a championship of her own. Whether it be a singles or a tag team. Now she's gonna be teaming with Nia Jax. She doesn't like Nia Jax. Nia Jax doesn't like her. Well, some tag teams don't like each other. They had somebody like Bayley and Sasha, and they were the longest running tag team champions. Yeah, they won it in the beginning 2 years ago, but then they lost it, and then they regained it back. And really, what more can they do? You got a tag team right now that can be a tag team championship fighting force. So we'll see what happens, because I think that Shayna and Nia can pull it off. I don't know how, but I think they can pull it off.
Yeah.
Because really, what more can they do with Bayley and Sasha?
I see this match going one of two ways. Either you have Sasha, you have Shayna and Nia bickering at each other the whole match, but they waylay the shit out of Bayley and Sasha and win the women's tag titles. Or one of them turns on the other, whether it be Nia on Shayna, Shayna on Nia, one or the other, and then Bayley and Banks retain the tag titles.
Yeah.
Because they're for sure building, like they've done a fairly good job of building up the rivalry between Shayna and Nia. So they're for sure going to keep that going. I mean, if you put the women's tag titles on them, and have them beaking off at each other and beating people up in tag matches, that'd be one thing. But, if you go that route, then eventually have them drop the titles to whoever and then go into a match against each other at some point down the road. That's all fine and dandy. Or you can have one screw the other one over and then go into a match at the next pay-per-view. So you really could go one of two ways with that.
Yeah, I just had a thought, because I'm not sure if it was SmackDown, or I think it was SmackDown, but I do remember seeing Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke backstage.
Yes.
So that being said, if for some fucking reason or another, Nia and Shayna don't go over on Sunday, why can't you have Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke wrestle? What is the point to just have them on the sidelines?
Yeah. You have them make an appearance on Raw and them do one thing on Raw Underground, and then that's it. I don't think that would make much sense.
No, not at all.
I mean, I haven't seen them do anything in fucking a year at least.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, you have them on Raw talking to Shayna Baszler and then do that little bit of Raw Underground and, to lead more into a rivalry with Shayna and Nia. But then, at some point have them maybe side with Shayna and the three of them beat the shit out of Nia.
That's an idea. They were planning on having Shayna Baszler turn face. I'm not sure who said it, but that was a rumor. So, I mean, that would be interesting. I just don't know how that would work. Because she's not, and this is no knock to Shayna, but she's one of those people, I don't know if I could take her seriously as a face.
Yeah. I mean, she does really, really good work as a heel.
Yeah.
if you have her turn face and make it believable, it'll take a lot of work.
Yeah. I'm not sure. So, it would be interesting to see Nia and Shayna as the tag champions.
Oh yeah, for sure it would.
So, and here's another thing too. So, I keep saying this, so I'll say it here. So, SummerSlam, you had Asuka versus Bayley, and Bayley retained the SmackDown Championship. Then later on, you had Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Somehow, Asuka became the new Raw Women's Champion. Okay, so let's say that come Sunday we have Sasha Banks turn on Bayley, or vice versa. Because let's say they may lose the tag team championships on Sunday. So, one of them turns.
Yeah.
Later on, we would get a feud with Sasha and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
That would be interesting.
Because we look at the feud they had for the NXT Women's Championship and the match that they had, and holy shit. Now, they probably won't be able to pull it off now, but who's to say they can't? And who's to say they probably can?
Yeah.
Who knows? So, yes, to make things interesting, I'm going to say Nia and Shayna.
Earlier, we were talking, well, this was a few months ago, we were talking about how when Asuka and Kairi Sane were the women's tag champions, at some point have one turn on the other and then have them feud with each other and have a match at WrestleMania, considering the fact that it was going to be in Tampa,
Yeah.
at the Raymond James Stadium, so on and so forth. Well, that didn't happen, and then of course Kairi Sane left WWE. She probably went back to Japan, or she's going to turn up somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
So there's that just some people get so eager with their predictions that I'm sure they feel stupid when it doesn't go how they think it's gonna go.
Yeah. I mean, Nia's been in so much hot water lately. I mean, this goes back to when she inadvertently hit Becky in the nose,
Yeah.
busting her open. And, you know, she's been known as being a dangerous competitor. Well, I'm sorry, fuckheads. It's not ballet, it's wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Nia has enough experience now that she should be careful with who she's in the ring with and take care of them.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time, with a woman her size, accidents can and
They
do happen.
Yeah, they do, for sure.
So, I mean, yeah, she's been in hot water. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have a negative opinion of her, but I mean, you know, she's done the best that she can with what she has to work with.
Yeah.
We go on to another tag team match, but this time it's going to be Ray and his son Dominic teaming up against the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and his only disciple, Murphy, Buddy Murphy.
Yep. I mean, Austin Theory is gone. I'm not sure who else was there.
The Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain, so I'm not sure what happened with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to call it the Monday Night Messiah is kind of bullshit now. I mean, you look at what happened at SummerSlam, and Dominic really held his own.
Oh, yeah,
in the
absolutely.
match, you know, and I think that it's high time for him to, you know, be known as a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
And, you know, he is in WWE. This is going to be an interesting match because with the punishment that the Monday Night Messiah had put on Dominic is kind of like, alright, let's see what they can do in this match.
Yeah.
Because they need redemption, and I don't know about Ray, but I think that definitely Dominic needs redemption on Seth.
Yes.
I mean, okay, yeah, Ray did get his eye taken out at Extreme Rules, but I think that for my money, I would love to see the Mysterios go over it on Sunday.
Same. I mean, what better moment could you possibly have than literally Dominic's third match with the company, have his first win be alongside his old man?
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that, father and son take team,
Yeah.
you know? It would be like having Boris and Dean Malenko
Yeah.
in a take team. It would be like Rocky and Dwayne, The Rock Johnson. It would be like Bruno and David. You know, it's kind of cool to see a father and son take team do a great, have a great match, you know, as a take team.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how else to put it. So, I mean, I think that the Monday Night Messiah has had way too many wins. I think it's time for Ray and Dominic to actually go over it in this one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And this is just my thinking. Who knows if it'll ever happen, but I mean, you've got Dominic wrestling now. I'm sure Ray is slowly winding down his career, but
yeah.
what's to say before Ray decides to hang up the boots for good, him and Dominic at some point end up Raw Tag Champs?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I mean, for Ray, it would be pretty cool, I'm sure, when he finally does decide to hang up the boots and retire from wrestling, to be able to say, hey, you know, at one point in my career, I was tag team champions with my son. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Ray's had too many injuries. I don't know
Yeah.
how well he. I mean, he could still go.
Oh, for
obviously,
sure he can.
But for how long? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Edge retired, had to retire in 2011, and now he is back after all these years. I mean, he's out right now with an injury, but I mean, he'll be back, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that Ray's at the point where the left knee that he's had repaired forever is gonna give out eventually.
Yeah, most likely.
So, I honestly still will have to say the Mysterios are gonna win.
Yeah.
Because they definitely, if not Ray, Dominic needs redemption over Seth and Buddy.
Oh, absolutely. For
So-
sure.
Moving on to the Universal Championship, it's gonna be no holds barred.
Yes.
A triple threat. You've got the champion of the Fade Bray Wyatt and the monster Braun Strowman and the Big Dog Roman Reigns. The return of Roman Reigns
Yes.
at SummerSlam. Now SmackDown is tonight.
Yes.
In fact, it's probably right now. However, I think that having Roman come back and apparently, as I heard on the interwebs, turned heel.
Supposedly.
I mean, he
I mean-
looks good, right?
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
looked like he was able to maintain his physique while he was away. And it's funny how he comes back, you know, spears The Fiend, spears Strowman, takes a chair, beats the crap out of Strowman with the chair a few times, goes in the ring and spears The Fiend again and picks up the Universal title and is like, oh, you're just a freak with a mask, you can't handle the pressure, so on and so forth, and holds up the title. That's a heel turn?
That doesn't make sense, but I mean, you look at it this way too, and Roman was supposed to be the Universal Champion. Yes, he did win the Universal Championship, but because his leukemia came back, he had to relinquish the title. And then he came back, and he was supposed to have a match with Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania, and because of the bullshit pandemic, he wanted to be safe, which I totally agree with. And, you know, Braun Strowman ended up getting the title.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that he definitely deserves, because he never lost the Universal Championship.
No.
So he deserves the Universal Championship. Whether it's on Sunday, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because you still have The Fiend and Braun Strowman. So, I honestly don't know. I can't say for sure. If it's not Roman Reigns, I mean, he still has beef with Braun Strowman. You know, and this goes back to 2017. So, let's say Braun Strowman gets the title back. There's definitely room to have a match with Roman and Braun for the Universal title at some point down the road. Hell, Survivor Series.
Yeah, we could have that. You know, this match is billed as no holds barred. Please, please, please make it no holds barred. Please. You have a match at SummerSlam with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. No disqualification. I mean, they're more or less out of their element, and they did the best they could. Yeah, you have a table set up which they didn't use. You have the use of some chairs, but I mean, other than that, not really no disqualification. The match with Dominic and Seth was fairly good, considering what it was talked about. I think it was like basically it was a street fight.
Right.
And I mean, okay, you got candlesticks involved, handcuffs were involved, maybe some steel chairs, but no disqualification, okay, yeah, kind of. And then you go on to the match with Bray Wyatt and Strowman. Falls count anywhere. And the furthest they went was the control center or the gorilla position. Beat each other up back there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then end up back in the ring. Strowman takes one of those box cutters and is cutting up the canvas and pulling up things, and the match ends with two Sister Abigails on the wood.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I mean, again, not really to the caliber of what you would think a Falls Count Anywhere match is, or should be, or would be. So this match better goddamn well be no fucking holds barred.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. But those matches can't compare to the horse shit that was Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose.
Well, true.
Fuck you, Vince. Oh, actually, no. Fuck you, Lesnar. So, I mean, I agree. This has to be Falls Count. Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, if you want to go back to, like, 14A, you have to do something that's extreme or something like it, you know? And I'm not saying stab your opponent.
No.
But, like, come on, you gotta do something better.
I mean, you are seeing people getting cut and blood a little more than you would previously. I'm sure, unintentionally, accidentally, whatever you want to call it. But, if you're going to have stipulation matches, make it worth our while. Don't half-ass it. And considering the fact that The Fiend just took the title off of Strowman at SummerSlam, he very easily could retain at Payback, considering the fact that Roman just returned. If they put the title on him now, does he deserve it? Yes, but it'd probably be too close to his return. And I don't see them putting the title back on Strowman, considering the fact he just lost it at SummerSlam. So my money most likely will go on The Fiend retaining the title.
Well, fair enough. I'm just saying, Strowman and Reigns have a bigger history.
Oh, I know they do.
But, yeah, okay. We'll see what happens. SmackDown just now. I can see at least 2 matches that are... Well, one just got announced. You've got Matt Riddle, the King of Bros, versus King Corbin, Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corbin's had this vendetta against Riddle for the last several weeks, pretty much since his debut on SmackDown. And Riddle came from NXT. He did very well for himself in NXT. Was an NXT Tag Team Champion with Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. They were the Broserweights. And then he made his debut on SmackDown. He beat AJ Styles. He's done fairly well for himself in his short tenure on SmackDown. It seems right now that Shorty G is King Corbin's lackey, if you will, and jumping Riddle for the last little while, and trying to get the King's ransom, if you will.
Yeah.
And Shorty G and Riddle had a match on SmackDown. Riddle ended up getting the win, and then Corbin got in the ring and tried to get the jump on Riddle, but Riddle was ready for it and kind of fended off Corbin.
Yeah.
But this match, I think, will be a good match. I have a feeling it'll be a quick one, though.
Yeah, there's the thing. Matt Riddle just came from NXT, and he's still... Yeah, he beat AJ Styles, but he's still fresh and on SmackDown. And so, yeah, I can easily see Baron win this match, because not only is he a tall motherfucker, but the fact is, he has Shorty G in his corner. And I think that that's probably one of the most interesting things to think about, because that's a factor in this match. I don't know if Matt has it in him right now. Like I said, he just beat AJ Styles in a non-title match. I just think that Corbin has a better chance. It's too soon for Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Right, yeah.
But, I say that, but what I mean is, King Corbin's gonna win this match.
Okay. Corbin would seem like the obvious answer, you could say, as to who's going to win this match. It also could be one of those things where Corbin gets beat up by Matt Riddle, and Riddle gets one over on Corbin as like redemption, although there really isn't really too much to say as far as like redemption is concerned. Maybe get Corbin off his back and move on to other things.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, anyways, this has been a good show, and yeah, I can't wait to see it, even though it is a week, past
Yeah.
SummerSlam and whatever, so I mean, it is gonna be interesting. I just wish that they would have paced it, because
Yeah.
obviously you're still recovering from SummerSlam, but whatever. I
Yeah.
just don't know where Vince is head at nowadays. Well, it's up his ass, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else you want to add before we take off?
So, having just come off of SummerSlam, Payback should be interesting. See where that goes. The Thunderdome is really cool idea. I'm glad they came up with it.
Yeah, I mean, you have the screens of people. It looks just like it is when it's full of people in
Yes.
real life.
Yeah.
The whole rock and roll aspect with the fireworks and the pyro, very kick-ass. It was a very good idea to do that. And I know there's some people that may not like it. I know there's been some issue with somebody posting a picture of Benoit's last photo on one of the screens, but I didn't see it,
Right. Yeah.
so it may not have happened. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
We'll see what happens with SmackDown
Yeah.
tonight. It'd be interesting to hear what Roman has to say
I'm
on
looking forward
his
to it.
return.
Yeah,
And leading into the match on Sunday, they're going to have a contract signing for that match
yep,
tonight. But I believe it would be a very fitting end to this video if, I'm sure you already know about this.
yep,
We mentioned, of course, of the passing of Bullet Bob Armstrong.
yes. Yeah, Bob Armstrong, the father of Brian Armstrong, aka Road Dogg,
Scott,
Brad. And I don't believe I've seen any matches from Bullet.
Yeah.
He was inducted into the Hall of Fame, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool. I just wish I would have. I mean, I can obviously still do that, but I mean, it's another generation of wrestlers that, it's a shame to see something like this happen. Obviously, he wasn't well, he was very, sick. I'm just kind of, it's a sad thing for someone to lose a parent
Yes.
in general.
Yeah.
So my thoughts are definitely with Brian and Scott and Brad.
Yeah, the Armstrong family and, of course, friends of Bullet Bob
Yeah.
and fans alike of his. So,
Yeah.
Bullet Bob, rest in peace, my friend.
Anyways, we'll talk to you later. And yeah, I'm not sure when we're coming back. I think the next pay-per-view is all out. If we think of something, we'll definitely put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
But until then, I mean Matt, this is Killer Kyle. We'll talk to you later. Deuces.